Have you ever waited for something you were really excited about? A vacation, a special visit, or a big announcement? When you're stuck waiting, every single minute feels like an hour. The writer of 2 Peter addresses this exact feeling. He warns that as time passes, people he calls scoffers will show up. These are folks who get so tired of waiting for Jesus to return that they throw their hands up and quit. They look around and say, "Where is he? Since our ancestors died, the sun still rises, the seasons still change, and everything looks exactly the same as it did at creation. He is never coming back." But they are conveniently ignoring history. The earth has not always stayed the same. Long ago, the world was entirely flooded and reshaped by water. The bigger issue is that they are judging God's schedule using a human wristwatch. The creator of the universe does not operate on our standard 365-day calendar. This animated diagram shows exactly what Peter means. To the Lord, one single day expands out to equal 1,000 human years, and 1,000 years to us, that feels like a single day to him. So God isn't running late. Our human perspective of time is simply too small to grasp his perfect cosmic schedule. If God isn't late, then why hasn't Jesus returned yet? The answer is simple. He is exercising immense patience toward us. That delay is an act of deep love. He wants to give every single person the maximum amount of time possible to turn their lives around and choose him. But this long period of patience has an expiration date. The Bible says that when the day of the Lord finally arrives, it will happen like a thief in the night, with zero warning. When that exact moment strikes, the skies as we know them will disappear with a massive roar. This current era is an active, temporary rescue mission, a final window of opportunity held open before the deadline suddenly arrives. Peter writes that the current earth and skies are being held in reserve, specifically for a day when they will be consumed by intense heat and fire. Think of a master builder taking a chaotic, broken structure and melting it down to its raw foundational blocks. This heat permanently sweeps away all the mess and pain, leaving a completely clean slate for a brand new heaven and earth. Peter describes this new earth as a home for righteousness, a world where goodness is the very air you breathe, and everything finally functions exactly the way it was always meant to. The melting away of the old world is a necessary and hopeful renovation. It is the only way to build a flawless masterpiece where everything is finally made right. Knowing this perfect, flawless world is coming raises a very practical question. How should we live our lives today, right now, while we wait? Peter gives a clear instruction. We need to make every effort to live holy, godly lives, doing our best to be at peace with God. The Apostle Paul also wrote to the early churches about these complex matters, sharing deep wisdom that God gave directly to him. But Peter adds a warning. Some of the things in those letters are difficult to understand. Because of that, unstable people will intentionally twist the words to mean something false. Knowing God's true timeline and his promise of a new earth is our best defense. When we understand the real plan, we are far less likely to be tricked by those who want to distort the truth. Because we have been forewarned about these twisted arguments and impatient scoffers, we have to actively guard our minds and stand firm. Every morning the sun rises on this old earth is a direct gift of God's patience, offering salvation to someone who needs it. Use this waiting period. Let it be a time where you actively grow in the grace of Jesus Christ. Take this time to continuously expand your knowledge of him, deepening your roots while you still have the chance. God's perfect timing gives us a vital window to prepare our hearts and align ourselves with the world that is coming.